right, good morning folks. Well, we are on a little micro adventure. We're gonna head out and look for another airplane wreck. It's a P-38 that wrecked in 1945. Now this wreckage is right by the A6 Intruder wreckage that you guys have seen me explore before. But I have never taken the time to hike over and see this P-38 wreckage. It's only about a mile or half mile from the other wreckage, and from what I understand there's not a whole lot left, but I figured since we were out here we would at least go check it out. P-38 was a twin piston fighter plane designed by the Lockheed Corporation and was used throughout World War II. A couple of things that made the P-38 interesting are it was a single pilot aircraft and the piston engines were turbocharged, allowing it to perform well at high altitudes. The particular P-38 we're looking for was piloted by Max Clark and crashed in 1945 while on a training mission.
Hello.
How's riding backwards go?
It's interesting. You know, it's hard on the neck. My neck's a little stiff. I mean, I just see where we've been. It's all, just see where we've been.
So as you guys see, we got a few people with us. We're actually hanging out with Donald and his Patreon camp that he's having this weekend. And the A6 isn't too far from where he's having the camp, so got a small group of us. Figured some people haven't seen the A6, but again, like I said, my main focus is to try to find that P-38. Alright guys, well, we've gotten to where we're going to park. I see that since I've been here last, there is a new sign showing, designating where the crash sites are. This didn't used to be here. There used to be another sign just up the top of the hill that said you couldn't drive any further. But unfortunately, due to some poor information that Onyx Off-Road, since Onyx has decided to put all these routes and everything, they don't always vet their routes properly, and people were just going up and driving all the way to the crash site, which is incorrect. It's always been a walk-in, but again, people who don't really know better, they get on Onyx, and if the line shows all the way, they go there thinking it's okay, but it's not. You really do need to vet the locations that you see and make sure, because like I said, this is all new and it's really here because of Onyx Off-Road and the poor information that was on there. All right guys, well, so here's a sign right here at the top of the hill that is pointing in the direction of the P-38, so we should be able to follow that. The A6 is just right down this road here, and this used to be where you could drive your cars to. You could, if you wanted to do that hill climb, you could, but this was as far as you could drive. And there used to be a sign right here where the P-38 is that said no more vehicles past this point. So, but unfortunately, like I said, because too many people were coming up here and actually driving their cars all the way to the tail section of the A6, they've now closed it. Again, I'm just gonna rant just a minute and say, just because you're using Onyx doesn't mean you got good information. I really don't know what's going on here, but somebody left their underwear here. And that's weird, a little bit weird. So I do have to say, I mean, it is, to me, this is very beautiful. I know a lot of people aren't as fascinated with the high desert, but to me, I love it. I love being in these locations where you can just look for miles and miles in every direction and not see, another building or anything. And these are the places that, I mean, to me, just make me feel super remote. And I feel very lucky that we have these types of places available to us to get out and explore.
She's always looking down. I'm always looking across.
That worked out for us yesterday. I was looking down at tracks and you were looking across, and you saw Silas out there after we got a little ways on him.
So they're watching us.
All right, folks, well, we made it to the P-38 site, and just like the A6 Intruder, there is a plaque here that you can read and learn about what happened here all those years ago. Now, this site has been scavenged a lot more, so there definitely isn't as much to see as if you come to the A6 Intruder, but it's not really that far off the beaten path, so it's definitely worth coming out here and checking. It's always sombering to walk through something like this. It's definitely a reminder that the freedoms that we have in this country didn't come without loss, and it definitely makes you want to fully appreciate what we have available to us and the people who gave everything to make sure that we have it now. Another thing I'd like to note, I'd always heard that, you know, this wreck had been scavenged pretty good and there wasn't really much left, but as we walk around, I have to admit there's a lot more to this than my expectations were. It's definitely, like I said, it's definitely worth the little offshoot hike to come here and check this out along with the A6 Intruder. All right, just to give you guys some perspective of how big this crash site is, you can see where they are over there, where my friends are, and they are checking out pieces of the crash site. And then, I don't know if you can tell in the wide angle lens, but where I'm pointing is where that plaque is. And it's probably 50, 60 yards from me right now, and I'm standing here where you can see crash site pieces. So it spreads pretty wide. There's a lot to look at and check out here. Alright guys, well I hope you guys enjoyed this short video, just coming out, little quick adventure. Now there's still a lot more to see. I didn't show everything in the videos because I want to make sure that if you want to come out and check this out for yourself, that there's more for you to discover and see for yourself. So if you enjoyed this little short video, please do give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those down below. And like I said, I'm going to continue enjoying exploring this site, and we're going to take some of these folks up to see the A6 who have not seen the A6. And if you haven't seen the A6, you can check out the video up in my upper right hand corner of when I first checked out the A6, and we'll see you guys again outside.